3-point line, and it caused a lot of problems for Bethune-Cookman.
I don't want to see any three-pointers this game. This game, I needs to be strictly in the paint for both teams.
Well, going against Shannon Grant is tough. Willoughby!
Maybe one three-pointer won't hurt. One three-pointer won't hurt.
Yeah, but that's a possession where the ball never went inside the three-point line. That's not what you want to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kevion Hunt against Trey Thomas. Hunt goes all the way and misses it.
Nice.
Willoughby stops and pops. Oh, Martine almost had the offensive rebound taken away by Ruffin. Ruffin lobs it up, and it's put home by Dorian McMillan. This game is really fast right now. The Wildcats need to slow it down.
To the max. Like I said before, this is definitely going to be a dramatic game.
Jackson State talking a lot, trying to get in the Wildcats' heads early. They play, I mean, if you ever watched Mo Williams play in the NBA, he had a certain swagger to him.
Absolutely.
And his team embodies that. Trey Thomas steps back on Mansell and cashes it.
A dramatic game, Mike.
But you can't rely on the three ball to get you through a whole game. We tried to do it on Saturday, it didn't work.
It's just like how we talked about earlier with the key of the game on who is going to be using the paint the most. And right now, JSU has been using the paint a lot more than VCU.
Mansell scores, and the Wildcats have no answer for Romel Mansell and Shannon Grant right now.
They have been taking off. I think this is a good dynamic duo for JSU. Where is ours?
Well, they haven't.
Who's going to step up to be that?
I don't think Ruzon's touched the ball yet.
Not at all. And that we saw the injury that did to us when last game against Alcorn.
Thomas way off on the deep three at the end of the shot clock. Again, the ball never went inside the three-point line.
We can't keep allowing those three-pointers to take us to where we need to be.
And Jackson State punishes on the other end with a corner three. 15-8 Tigers.
The way they're playing, how fast-paced this game, you would have thought that they were up by so much more.
The Wildcats hitting a couple threes to keep them in it. That's really it right now.
Attack
Kamara tries a three. Got it!
This is going to be a three-pointer game.
But the Wildcats have to get any kind of stop on defense. Jackson State's 7 for 10 right now.
What needs to really happen is that if...
Three-pointer from McMillan.
Oh, my goodness.
Banks it in.
It's just a three-pointer, back and forth, back and forth.
Wow. And just like Alcorn State on Saturday, it feels like everything Jackson State throws up is going in right now.
Yes, absolutely. It could be the most wildest shots, just expected to go in.
Hard screen set by Martine. They try to go to Martine, and Willoughby can't find him as we go to our first.
Ruzon is absolutely in distress right now.
Timeout. You love Bethune-Cookman University sports? Of course you do. Then don't miss Hail Wildcats Radio, the podcast that takes you behind the scenes of all 15 Wildcat sports programs. Hosted by voice of the Wildcats, Michael Cirillo, and featuring the expertise of sports information directors Bryce Ranowski and Brian Harvey, Hail Wildcats Radio delivers unparalleled coverage of your favorite teams. Tune in to 1380 WELE Daytona Beach every Saturday to catch the show live or listen anytime on your favorite podcast platform. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, anywhere you get your podcast, we can find Hail Wildcats Radio. No matter what happens tonight, we'll talk about it this week on this show. 18 points at the first media timeout for Jackson State. It's an offensive landslide. They're 8 of 11 from the floor right now. What do the Wildcats need to do defensively?
They need to attack the paint, but it's hard to say for them to attack the paint when they are continuing to push them out to the top of the key. And JSU is being very strategic with that. But as long as we try to force our way inside that paint, maybe we're able to draw a couple of fouls, take us to the line, or even kick out to a mid-range.
Thank you all for being with us here on the CatEye Network this evening. Apologies for some of the early technical difficulties.
We're all good now.
Michael Cirillo, Sabrina Petit-Home.
It feels like a fun game, Mike. I don't know.
Producer Lee behind us, as well as our entire student-run broadcast crew here at the CatEye Network.
Yep. very exciting to see some of the students on campus come out to support some of their favorite basketball Wildcats, Wildcat basketball.
We got the band in here.
Yeah.
We got the baseball team, softball team, as well as the more Maniac student section.
Super exciting today.
But right now, Bethune-Cookman looking for some answers defensively.
I feel like they should go into a 2-3. That man isn't working because they're going to keep cutting that baseline every time.
Here's Shannon Grant working on Ruzon.
This is not something we're working on.
Dorian McMillan drives all the way,
What a
kicks to
pass.
Grant. He floats it up and in.
What a pass.
Grant's got 8 and McMillan has 8 in the first 5 minutes,
I'm
or
starting
7
to think
minutes.
those are our 2 top scorers, and they're wet using that paint foul.
And we're gonna get a reach-in foul called here against Deshaun Ruffin. He's giving it to the students, and the students are giving it back.
Right back. That's one thing. Can't
Well,
take what you dish out.
The Wildcats down 9. I'm not sure that we have any room to talk right now.
No, not at all. But you know one thing about the more Maniacs, they're going to ride for their team, no matter that score.
Long way to go, just 7 minutes in, but it looks very similar to how Alcorn State attacked us on Saturday, just getting into the paint, getting up early, and the Wildcats taking a ton of threes with no paint presence.
I'm just really happy that they're using their self. Oh, what
Willoughby
a pass!
dumps it off.
Let's
Ruzon!
go!
Hoop in the
Oh, my
hard.
goodness!
That's what happens when you
Yes,
attack the paint.
Exactly, and that's what we were speaking on before on who is going to be the first one to attack the paint. And with their offensive down on here on JSU, they've been doing a great job keeping BCU on level-headed. But that was one heck of a play.
Yeah, and Daniel Ruzon goes to the free throw line. There was one point a couple weeks ago when Daniel Ruzon led the SWAC in field goal percentage at up almost 60%.
Absolutely.
He's cooled off to a cool 57.8.
Well, it dropped drastically.
Now the Wildcats got to work in defensively. Here's Tamarion Hoover, the freshman.
Wow, what a steal with Khalil Kamara. That's exactly the type of advantage that we need, that BCU sparks a fire.
Thomas kicks it off of the foot of Mansell. That'll be a kick ball, put 20 on the shot clock. And good steal by Kamara, and the Wildcats do need to turn the ball over.
Absolutely. That was a great
Jackson
play.
State only turned the ball over 10 times in the first meeting between these two teams.
Total?
Total.
Oh, that's really good.
And
use of volume.
Alcorn State only had 1 turnover in the first half on Saturday.
Wow.
Here's Ruzon.
Mid-range king.
Nope.
Ooh.
And just the body of Shannon Grant makes you take shots that you probably wouldn't normally do. Trey Thomas will be called for the foul on Coandrick Samuel.
We have to be very careful because if we keep racking up these fouls, it'll be so quick for us to get in the bonus, and that's not what we're looking for, especially since JSU as a team has a free throw percentage of 72.6%.
That's
Not
second
a
in the
good look.
conference.
7 in the conference. That's not a good look for us to get into bonus points.
We're going to bring in David Onanina, see if he can do something.
Let's do it. And you know, I'm always rooting for our post players.
Yeah. Shannon Grant has come out of the game, replaced by Coandrick Samuel. And Romel Mansell is still a threat down there for the Tigers. He gets the ball now.
Into a 3-2 defense, and this is exactly what I was
Whoa,
looking for.
boy. Wow. Jamie Mitchell, deep 3, and the buckets keep falling for Jackson State.
It doesn't matter what the shots look like, Mike, they're going to fall.
75% for Jackson State right now. 3 out of 4 from deep.
Wow. We need to push ourselves down low. Thank you.
Onanina in the paint. Working
Thank
on
you.
Mansell, lost the ball.
Got to keep our hands on that ball, and they already are faster than us.
The fancy dribbling, the kick, the corner 3. No good for Hoover, but he gets it right back.
No rebounding from BCU, and there's 3 of us down here. Let's work.
Well, Seneca Willoughby tried to get it back, but he dribbled on the baseline. That'll take us to our second media timeout. The Wildcats barely hanging around Jackson State has hit 7 of their last 8 shots.
A lot of mistakes that need to be fixed. 11 minutes and 39 seconds left into the first half. So many things happen so fast. You know, it's up to us to be able to take those and readjust. Last game, we talked about readjusting, and this is probably one of the best games that we can do this for.
SWAC basketball is coming to an end. Don't miss your chance to catch every second of BCU basketball action at Moore Gym. The women's basketball team is back, not this Thursday, but the next Thursday as they take on Southern for a crucial conference matchup. Then a doubleheader on March 3rd, doubleheader on March 1st against Southern, and then the men on March 3rd against Grambling and March 8th against Florida A&M. The Wildcats have 3 of their last 5 games at home. Could be crucial down the stretch. We talked about this jam-packed top of the SWAC right now in men's basketball with Florida A&M, Bethune-Cookman, Texas Southern, Jackson State, and Alcorn State all sitting tied for second at 8-4.
And this is one of those times as we get closer to the SWAC playoffs, it's very crucial on how we play as a team, the mistakes that we have, because at any moment we could be knocked further and further down that list to make it to playoffs, even though it's all 10 of us, you know?
8 for McMillan, 8 for Grant so far. Those two are combined 7 for 8 from the floor, and McMillan's got 2 threes.
Right.
For the Wildcats, Willoughby 2 for 3. Thomas, Kamara, and Willoughby have each hit 1 triple.
This has been a fast-paced game already. We need to slow it down. We need to play our own game and take over.
Catch and shoot 3. That'll be 3 free throws as Jesus Carvalero-Martin did not allow Jamie Mitchell to land.
Something that I'm hoping to see also from Coach Diaz is keeping our legs.
Only got 7 active bodies. So 3 free throws upcoming for Jamie Mitchell. He's the best, he's hit the most 3-pointers on this team at 43. Hits him at 35%.
Wow.
And from the free throw line, he's got 75%. Mitchell, the sophomore out of Jackson, Mississippi, Forest Hills High School. Started his career at Alabama State last year. Well, the year before last at Alabama State, then last year at Jackson State. Only played in 12 games, but averaged 6.4 points and 2.4 rebounds.
The free throws quiet the more maniacs down, and you know, that's something that we need. The more maniacs gives us that morale to continue to keep doing what we're doing as a team.
Well, the Wildcats, especially on offense, haven't given them much to shout about so far.
Something extremely different. Seneca was in the post, and Khalil was driving that ball.
Seneca just got stripped by Shannon Grant.
We have to keep hold of that ball. This is like, what, probably the 5th or 6th time we've lost the ball?
4th turnover of the game for Bethune-Cookman. That's a long 2 from the corner, no good. Thomas the rebound, he'll look to run. He's got Kamara with him. He gives it to Khalil, who scores. Points off turnovers. Gonna be really important. That's the first Wildcat points off turnovers tonight.
Second chance points right now. That might be the second key to the game coming in that second half, is making sure that we keep control of those second chance points.
Grant against Onanina.
Nice.
Hook shot, good. Shannon Grant is 5 for 5 from the field right now.
He is not playing no games with us, Mike, and I don't think we should be able to take it that way either.
And he's very familiar with this Bethune-Cookman team, having spent the last 2 years at Florida A&M.
Know who he is. Doesn't matter what point.
Onanina sets the screen. Willoughby, floater, short, got his own rebound and got stripped by Ruffin.
Nice
Behind the back pass to Ruffin for 3. Oh, he missed everything, but an offensive rebound for Hoover. Here's Mitchell all the way in, up and under for the layup. It is 29-16.
JSU is a very crafty team, and I think we are a crafty team as well, but we have to turn up that notch. The first thing of that is being able to hold on to the ball.
I got to counter by saying the Wildcats aren't playing bad offensively. They're shooting almost 50%.
Yes.
Willoughby.
Nice pass.
Off to Onanina, who got reached in upon. The foul's going to go on the floor, and it's going to be against Tamarian Hoover. But when your opponents are shooting 66%, 3 of 6 from downtown, it's kind of hard to live with anybody shooting like that.
It absolutely is. So we just have to work a little bit more harder. 16-29, JSU up.
Trey Thomas will sit down.
We were trying something. Trey is in the game. Number 22. So I think this is the first time I've seen him at the home game. Nice
Down
pass.
low, Onanina. Got to do a lot more of that.
Yep. Using those bottles. Pull him up. Take him away from the paint.
'22 is Trayvon Barbary, I believe, the walk-on, who came in to give the Wildcats some bodies midway through the season. Onanina
Nice
with the steal.
Yep.
Willoughby,
Nice
Onanina in the
floater.
paint. His hook shot is too strong. Usually that hook shot.
Yes.
Uh-oh, Khalil Kamara with the steal.
A three.
Oh,
Come on, we got to drive
and a
in.
foul. That's the
three.
third on Kamara.
He's done.
No, it's going to go on Womack.
Oh, okay.
Or Barbary, excuse me. And if you're Khalil Kamara and you get that steal, I understand the urge to step back into a three.
Yeah, trying to get those scores to be tied up or at least closer to where we are. But regardless of how the score is, you got to play strategic because those three could be bad on our end. Do you see how down low, if you look down low, JSU literally pulls up to the top of the key and leaves the post open for any of us to drive in, and that's what we need to do on our end.
Drive and kick and bang from three. Dorian McMillan off the assist from Deshaun Ruffin. And that's something the Wildcats have never done well is the drive and kick.
And if we use that for our advantage, it could be a lot better.
And even though I've talked to Coach Diaz and he says he wants to work with the drive and kick, and I haven't seen it.
We have the bodies for it.
Willoughby 10 on the shot clock. Back to Ruzon with 6.
Nice kick.
Kamara with 2, throws it up, got the foul.
Nice way to draw the fouls, and that's what we're looking for.
The whistle bails the Wildcats out a little bit there.
Yep, gives them some time, catch their breath, take it to the line. We need these. I know right now our free throw percentage is 68.9%. Not too bad.
And it is down in the bottom third of the SWAC, 7th place from free throws. And
yes.
The Wildcats have really hurt themselves on free throws late in games. I mean, Trey Thomas, who at one point was leading the SWAC in free throw percentage, has had a rough couple of weeks from the charity stripe, if he gets there at all. Second free throw coming from Khalil Kamara is no good. 1 or 2. It is all Jackson State right now.
I can't even say we're pretty much in this game. We're working for it.
And it starts with stops. I mean, it's
all
well and good to score, but if you can't get a stop, you're not going to get back into this game. Traveling violation is going to go against.
Nice defense by Trey.
No, it's not a travel. It was an offensive foul against Kevion Hunt. I think you could have called either one.
Absolutely. Either way, it's our ball.
BCU baseball is back at the beach. Come catch the Diamond Cats live. We've got a lot of home games for Bethune-Cookman baseball. Friday, the Wildcats will be hosting UMass at 7 p.m. at Jackie Robinson Ballpark. Then Saturday at 6 and Sunday at noon. That's Bethune-Cookman baseball.
Yes.
We're into it. We were out there last week for home opening weekend against Stony Brook, and I mean, talking selfishly, baseball's my game.
Yep.
As much as I love sitting up here with y'all,
Absolutely.
baseball's my game.
You know that's where you find your joy, right?
And so I'm so happy that baseball is back, and then please join us for all of our broadcasts over there from Jackie Robinson.
I'm hoping that some of our more maniacs are able to come to some of the baseball games. I myself will see if I can make it on the Wednesday game to support my fellow friends. Shout out to Yo-Yo. So I'm very excited that they're here right now. So hopefully we can give that same support that we've been giving basketball to baseball to and softball as well, along with golf and all of the spring sports.
The baseball team's down there sitting right in front of the band.
You know, we want to make sure that everybody else is having that great, great advantage of that.
But back to this one, Sabrina. It's tough. McMillan is 3 out of 4 from 3, and Grant is 5 for 5 from the floor.
It's really hard to call as well, too. I think right now we need to focus on our own game and strictly keeping our hands on the ball. Mike, it is so imperative that we use these second chance scores to make sure that we're cleaning up after ourselves. I haven't seen us rebound as much either down here, and that's where our second point chances are coming from.
The Wildcats are getting out-rebounded right now 12-4 and 3-1 on the offensive glass. And that was a big part of the 4-game win streak that Bethune-Cookman had over the last couple weeks before it was snapped by Alcorn on Saturday. Was they would just out-rebound you. Ruzon at the nail. Got it.
Mid-range king.
But yeah, then they would get second chance points, points off turnovers, and they would out-rebound you. They haven't done that so far this weekend, and it's cost them. Mansell down low.
Losing up, can't jump. You gotta stay up.
Grant threw a triple team. Shannon Grant is only averaging 8 points per game. He's got 12 in the first half.
Wow. That's all I can say. He came out the gate ready to fight and work, and, you know, unfortunately.
Offensive foul, push off against Trey Thomas.
Gotta be
That's
careful,
his second foul.
21-34, JSU still in the lead.
And another turnover for Bethune-Cookman, their fifth. 18 points in the paint for Jackson State to 8 for Bethune-Cookman right now.
Wow.
And 6-0 in second chance points.
Back into that 2-3 defense.
Now the Tigers finally miss a 3.
Kind of seems as if we got our spark back. Really happy. Ruzon is actually looking like he's leading the court right now.
Thomas thought about pulling up for 3, goes back to Ruzon for the midi, and he crushes it down.
Mike, they're using those mid-ranges we talked about, you know, to our advantage. If we can't make the post, we can't make the 3, go in the middle.
The run's got to come now for Bethune-Cookman if they want to be close at the half.
Absolutely, and they're using that to their advantage. They got their spark by Trey doing an amazing job as well. David Onanina, everybody's hands up, they are ready.
Marbury all over Kievion Hunt. Mansell on Ruzon.
Nice
and a steal by Trey.
Very strategic as well, too.
He'll go all the way up and finish the layup.
We found our spark back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's make sure we take it all the way there. 5 minutes and 53 seconds left, 25-34.
And 2 decent defensive possessions by the Wildcats back-to-back.
Yes. How do you feel about that, Mike?
And a timeout going to be called by Coach Williams. I mean, he feels like it's not good, so he's going to call timeout. I mean, this is anecdotal, but I don't think the Wildcats before then had 2 straight stops in the game before that.
Not at all. But I think that's something we talked about. I think it was during the girls' game, how, you know, our opponent at that time, they came in, found adjustments. We need to be able to adjust to what they're adjusting to so that we can keep the game level, if not, you know, push above.
And it's something the Wildcats have struggled with, even when they've had good matchups. Like I'm talking about 2 weeks ago, right, when the Alabama schools were in here, and the men's team was up big against Alabama State. They came roaring back, and they were up big against Alabama A&M, and they were coming back.
Yes.
So
who knows right now?
Yeah.
We're slowly creeping back up. You know, we have a couple of points left for us to get to where we need to be. A lot of adjustments that need to work. We just got to continue playing the game that we need to do. Keep feeding Daniel Ruzon, David Onanina. I hope that he keeps his hands on those balls so that he can go up for those rebounds and second chance points.
Ruzon is the Wildcats' top scorer right now, 7 points. Kamara 6, Thomas 5, Willoughby 5, Onanina 2.
I really wish Kamara didn't get all those fouls in earlier because he would have really helped us out as well. But now it's looking like he probably won't be back to the second half.
My stat sheet only has 1 foul charged to Khalil Kamara. I know that's incorrect. He's got 2. As a foul, as Kievion Hunt drove in. And so Hunt will go to the line. Guess what? Kievion Hunt is the best free throw shooter by percentage in the conference.
Wow.
Of those who have attempted 50 or more free throws. He shoots at 83%. There are some great free throw shooters on this team. Tamarian Hoover has missed 1 all season.
Wow.
And Deshaun Ruffin up near 90% as well.
Number 5 at the line. How much is he here? 49, 69, missed 10. So they're pretty good the entire season.
which, you know, you don't want to send this team to the line or they will hurt you.
No, and I really don't want us to get into that double-double.
Trayvon Barbary comes out. But Khalil Kamara is going to come back in with 2 fouls, because Barbary also has 2 fouls.
So Khalil only has 2 fouls. I could have sworn it was 3. My apologies.
And again, my stats board only shows 1.
Okay, whatever the stats say, that's what we're going to go
Yeah,
for.
but I thought he picked up 2 quick ones early.
Yes, absolutely.
Wildcats down by 10.
Woo.
Offensive foul is going to go against Ruzon for an illegal screen.
Did he not plant his foot? Because I could have sworn.
Well, it wasn't the feet, it was the elbow.
Ah, okay. He's getting a bit frustrated at the moment.
So Jackson State forces the 6th Wildcat turnover. I believe 3 of those have been offensive fouls.
Yeah, the last play or so, there was a couple of those that came through. Not really sure. Wish we had a replay board up here, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, my eyes are drawn to the second chance points, 6-0.
Wow.
The 12-6 rebounding advantage for Jackson State. And what did we say our keys to the game was, Sabrina?
Attack the paint. And second chance points, attack the paint.
Only one team's been doing that so far, and it's the team wearing white.
Yep.
Deshaun Ruffin, who had 37 points the last time these 2 teams got together. He puts the ball on the floor and is forced to send it back to Mitchell. Grant loses it, out of bounds. It'll stay with Jackson State. Grant is 6 for 6 from the floor in the first half, the big-bodied center.
We finally reached that down by 10, so it really can be anybody's game.
That's a 5-second violation. Jackson State couldn't get the ball in.
That's a great way to cover those inbound. They're getting more and more craftier every year.
So now both teams have turned the ball over. That'll get the crowd into it.
I just know for a fact JSU might respond, and you don't need to respond.
Mitchell, left-hand corner. Goes down low block. Romeo Mansell working on Onanina. He backs him down, turns around, spinning jumper, in and out, rebound, Khalil Kamara. Kamara looks to run, pushes it up the floor to the right-hand side, drops it off high to Willoughby. Willoughby will control. 4:36 to go here in the first half. Wildcats down 35-27. Apologies for the technical difficulties. We're going radio style here for the foreseeable future. Willoughby gets the screen from Onanina, attacks the right, 10 to shoot, goes to the paint, off the glass and in for Seneca Willoughby.
That's the way you find this part.
Willoughby up to 7 in the first half. Wildcats have lowered the gap to 6, 35-29 here in the last couple of minutes. 6-1 run for Bethune-Cookman. Deshaun Ruffin controls out high, matched up against Khalil Kamara. Gets the screen, double screen, going left to right across the top of the key. Ruffin now with Onanina switched on to him. He just straight up takes the 3, misses it, rebound to Martin.
And this is exactly what we're looking for as well.
Balanced scoring for the Wildcats. Nobody in double figures.
We're back.
But all but 2 Wildcats have scored. Oh, look out. That's a 3 ball from Daniel Ruzon. But that allows Jackson State to get a run out here.
Absolutely.
Down low,
what
Grant.
a matchup, David Onanina.
Against Grant, and Onanina wins the battle.
Hello.
And no call on the putback. Even though Mitchell wanted a push off.
One day I'm going to do a study on why we get so hyped towards the last couple minutes of the quarter.
It's all ripped away from Ruzon. It will be Jackson State ball. 3:12 to go, media timeout, final one of the first half.
Woo, Mike.
Wildcats have an 8-1 run right now, have held Jackson State scoreless the last 2:09, and you know, game of runs we call basketball, but now we got to hold it for the next 3 minutes to get back into it.
Absolutely, and we're not too far behind, and I think we're slowly finding ourselves when it comes to offensive-wise, but we just need to keep our hands on the ball. It's that every time we're consistently always losing our footing when we're down there. We've been doing a good job so far. You know, I just want us to find our balance, our goals, and play BC basketball.
Spring football is nearly here. Don't miss your chance to get a first look at the 2025 edition of Bethune-Cookman football at our annual spring game. Admission is free at Daytona Stadium, Saturday, April 12th. And Nike is the official outfitter of the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. Gear up on the new HBCU Nike gear at Nike.com/Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. And I'll tell you what I think sparked this Bethune-Cookman run.
Yes.
It was the steal and then the slam on the other end by
absolutely.
Onanina.
That brought that energy back. It sparked the fire into them. And this is something that we want to make sure that we're continuing to keep that fire, that morale. You know, our more maniacs who are continuing to keep us hyped, but we also need to be able to find that within ourselves too. Can we do it?
35-29, Jackson State up, 3:12 to go here in the first half. And Coach Theus is using every second
of that
timeout to talk to his players.
Making sure that they understand exactly what needs to be done.
Currently, the Wildcats on an 8-1 run. Jackson State has led from minute one. They've led by as many as 14. But right now it's down to 6. Once again, apologies as we work through some technical difficulties here at Moore Gym.
I think we're back in the game.
Deshaun Ruffin walks across the time stripe, hands to Shannon Grant, top of the key. Left wing side for McMillan. He gets into the paint all the way in, and his layup is no good. Rebound, Martine, who falls to the ground. Foul on Mansell.
I think that's the first foul that Mansell got all night.
That's his second foul.
Second foul. Must have not seen the first one.
But, I mean, the Wildcats getting a little bit lucky. That was a good drive by
Very much so.
Mitchell all the way in. His layup just didn't fall, and a good job by Martine to get the rebound. Martine was one of the 2 Wildcats that have not scored yet tonight, the other being Trayvon Barbary.
He must have been on the board all over for defensive-wise, because I know he's been putting in that work.
Long pass, far corner, out of bounds. Seneca Willoughby couldn't get there. It is the 8th turnover of the first half for Bethune-Cookman.
We talk about those fundamental passes in tight games like this. We cannot afford to lose them off of long passes. It doesn't matter how tall, how strong.
It's just the Wildcats are trying to do too much.
Yeah, just slow it down. Play our game. We don't need to be playing our game for anybody else, you know? They're running their plays. They made a spread, pushing up.
Ruffin open in the corner. Mitchell decides to keep it. Going at Onanina. Step back 3. Missed everything, and it'll go out of bounds. Neither team has scored in the last 149.
Let's keep it that way, and let's make sure we take advantage.
Jackson State has not scored in the last 317.
We want to keep them there so that we can go ahead and match up and we can get a better advance than them.
But again, Wildcats have only had 8 points in those 3 minutes. Martine fakes the 3, drives against Mansell, throws it down low. Ruzon got it. He wanted the end, one opportunity.
Wanted it, but he couldn't find it.
But the Wildcats have trimmed the lead all the way down to 4.
Yep. We're going to work for it. Like I said, this was going to be a really good game, a very dramatic game, and a balanced game as well, you know? They respond, we respond. I say, you say, you know?
The Wildcats was still nobody over 10 points in the game. Ruffin around the handoff from Mansell. He takes a step-back baseline jumper. No good. Lots of bodies pounding down there. Look out. Here comes Kamara.
Down! Goes down!
Punctuation mark from Khalil Kamara.
How are you feeling, Mike?
Better than I was 5 minutes ago.
I know that's right.
The lead is 2, 35-33. McMillan back to Mansell, his 3-pointer. Off to the right. Willoughby lost it out of bounds. Seneca Willoughby, I don't know if he's had his hand in the butter before this game.
I'm going to need the team to use a towel and really dry their hands up, because the ball's been flying out their hands all game lately.
Ruzon with 9. Kamara with 8 for the Wildcats. Shannon Grant, the top scorer in the game. Oh, my goodness. Look at the big man move.
Goodness. Jesus wasn't going down without a fight, though.
14 in the first half for Shannon Grant, who usually only averages 8 per game. Mitchell face guarding his opposite number, Seneca Willoughby. Willoughby falls down, rolls the ball around, and the foul's going to go against Jackson State.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be a one-on-one, I believe. Yeah, the foul's going to go against Mitchell.
We got into the bonus, didn't we? Right before the second half.
Both teams in the 1-on-1 with 42 seconds to go in the first half. The fact that the Wildcats are in this game is incredible.
I'm really happy. I didn't doubt it for a minute.
For a while there, I thought this was going to be a blowout.
Yeah.
The Wildcats have fought their way back. They've forced Jackson State to be one of their last 10 from the floor after starting so hot. They were shooting almost 80% at one point. Now they're down to just 15 of 30, 50%. The Wildcats, 14 of 24. 58%. But you look at the concerning number, 30 shot attempts for Jackson State, only 24 for Bethune-Cookman. That's turnovers, that's second chance points, and offensive rebounds for Jackson State. The Wildcats just 1-0 board in the first half.
I'm really excited to see what the second half is going to bring, because I know they're going to come in with a new mindset. Both teams, new plays, maybe the same ones. What are they going to do to get to the top?
First end of the 1-on-1 converted by Daniel Ruzon. He's been to the line a ton tonight, Ruzon, it feels like. But this is only his second trip. Had the and one opportunity earlier. Back to a two-point game.
22 seconds, we're here.
Wildcats would love a stop here. And then a chance to take the lead going into halftime. Deshaun Ruffin wants to change that.
Mansell at the top, I think we need to be careful.
Mansell way out high.
He's definitely looking for that post player. He keeps walking that baseline.
Handoff Ruffin, the former Ole Miss commit.
He's ready.
Here's Mansell working on Ruzon, using the body, going up, and scoring off the heel. Mansell up to 6. 12 seconds to go in the first half. Ruzon had the ball slapped away. And a foul hard on the other end as Mitchell hits the floor. And, well,
I hope he's okay.
Unfortunately, and we're going to go and review it for unsportsmanlike and potentially a flagrant.
I was just about to say that, Mike, but I didn't want to say it, and it happened anyways.
Well, for the Wildcats, who wanted to end this first half on a high note, that's not happening now.
No, and that's not the note that you want to go into in that second half.
They got it down to as few as 2 multiple times, but potentially 4 free throws coming here for Jackson State.
And I'm praying it's not. I'm hoping it was just an accident, but
4.9 to go first half. The Wildcats turned the ball over for the 9th time in the first half. Points off turnovers actually favor the Wildcats 6-4. That will probably change after these free throws.
You can see the post players, Onanina and Ruzon, they over here communicating to see what's going to work for them.
Yeah. But of those 9 turnovers for the Wildcats, only 4 have been Jackson State steals. So it's been offensive fouls, it's been throwing the ball out of bounds.
It's all over the place.
And it feels very similar to what happened on Saturday, where the Wildcats felt like they couldn't get out of their own head for long stretches of the game.
We don't need history to repeat ourselves.
These two teams currently in a 5-way tie for second place in the SWAC right now, along with FAMU, Texas Southern, and Alcorn State. And Alabama State's just 1 game back at 7-5. So the Wildcats, if they win tonight, they could be second place in the conference. If they lose tonight, they could go all the way to 6th.
Woo! I did not think about it that way. So it's really a test of win it all or win it all. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
And only 5 games left in the regular season after tonight.
Wow. So after that, if they get, we're not going to speak too ill about it too quickly, but if there's a chance that they do drop to the 6th, it's going to take some major fight to get back to that spot that we're at right now.
So the referees, I believe, have their answer.
Yep. Looks like it was a flagrant.
Yep, they're going to get a flagrant against Seneca Willoughby. So 4 free throws coming here for Jackson State, and the ball with 4.9 to go.
It's a 4-point lead. Oh, no, not a 4-point, 8-point lead.
Well, 4 at the start. Could be up to 8.
Yeah.
Could be as much as 11 if they get an inbounds play.
bounds play.
So only 2 free throws, my apologies.
Yep.
I thought there would be 4.
Me too.
Anyway, the Wildcats now down by 6 and are looking for a stop with 4.9.
They need to do the same exact thing they were doing for those in-band plays.
If I'm Jackson State, I'm going to Manseller Grants.
Nice.
Willoughby knocks it out of bounds and takes a second off the clock. Either number 7 or number 13 can't miss either of them. In the corner, here's a 3. It's off the window. Kamara pushes it from half court, and it's no good. And the Wildcats somehow are hanging around due to a pretty good last 5 minutes, but a steal and a flagrant foul means they're down 6 going into the half. And they had the ball on offense with a chance to tie or take the lead going into the break.
It's a lot of stuff that we need to work on, and I'm hoping that when Coach Theus gives that speech that he is so known for, that we're able to take this and readjust ourselves when it comes back to, you know, the second half of the game. You know, a lot of things that were going wrong, but at the second went left at the same time. We need to be able to keep our hands on that ball, you know?
For the Wildcats, they trail 41-35. We're going to take a break for about 10 minutes, and then when we come back, we'll get you the first half stats, our thoughts on the first half here from Moore Gymnasium, and we'll go around the SWAC and look at the scores from a crucial night of men's basketball in the Southwestern Athletic Conference. This is Bethune-Cookman University basketball on the CatEye Network. Stay tuned. Welcome back to more Gymnasium as we get ready to start the second half of action here on the CatEye Network. Your score, Jackson State 41, Bethune-Cookman 35. Well, it was all Jackson State in the first 10 minutes. They raced out to a 14-point lead at 32-18. The Wildcats brought it back to within 2 points twice, but a late turnover by the Cats and a flagrant foul let the Jackson State Tigers increase their lead to 6. Here are your scoring totals for the first half. First for Bethune-Cookman, a very balanced attack for the Wildcats in that first half, led by Daniel Ruzan. He had 11 points on 4 of 6 shooting, 3 of 3 from the free throw line. He also had 3 rebounds. Khalil Kamara had 8 points, 3 of 4 from the floor, 1 of 2 from 3. Seneca Willoughby had 7, 3 of 5 from the floor, 1 of 2 from 3. Thomas just 5, 2 of 5 from the floor, 1 of 3 from 3. If we can get Thomas going in the second half, that'll be big to potentially get us back into this one. And Onanina 4, 2 out of 3 from the field in limited minutes. For Jackson State, it's a two-man band right now. Shannon Grant, the man in the middle, the 300-pound, 6'10 center, 14 points, 7 of 8 from the field, 1 rebound, 1 steal. McMillan also has double digits, 11 points, 4 of 7 from the floor, 3 out of 4 from deep, and he hit all 3 of them right in a row in the middle of that first half. Mitchell has 9, 2 of 4 from the floor. Mansell has 6. Hunt has 1. Crucially, Deshaun Ruffin, who averages 16 a game and had 37 the last time these two teams met up in Jackson, Mississippi, has 0 of 3 from the floor, but he does have a game-high 5 assists. For the Wildcats, Jesus Coronado Martin does not have a point tonight, but he does have 2 rebounds, 5 assists, a steal, and 2 blocks. The Swiss Army knife doing it all in the first half. Team stats look like this. For a long time, it was dominant, but the rebounding, the Wildcats actually got back into it a little bit. They trail on rebounding 15-13 to Jackson State. Offensive rebounds 5-1 in favor of the Tigers. Not a lot of offensive rebounding going on at all. Second chance points, 8-0 in favor of the Tigers. Assists, 12 for the Wildcats, 11 for Jackson State. The Wildcats have turned the ball over 9 times, leading to 6 Jackson State points off turnovers. The Tigers have turned the ball 6 times, leading to 6 points off turnovers for the Wildcats. Bethune-Cookman has 2 blocks. They have 8 fast break points. Jackson State has 1 block, but have 11 fast break points. The shooting splits look like this. For the Wildcats, 58% from the floor is pretty darn good. 14 of 24, 3 out of 8 from 3, 4 of 5 from the free throw line. Jackson State, 50% even. They were shooting upwards near 80% at one point in the first half, but they cooled off towards the end. 16 of 32, 4 of 12 from deep, and 5 of 7 from the charity stripe. Let's go quickly around the SWAC before we get started with the second half. It's just started the second half in Itta-Bena, Mississippi. It's 60-36, Alabama State over Mississippi Valley. All Hornets in that one. Remember, the Hornets are just 1 game out of that massive tie-up for second place in the conference, and a couple of losses by teams above them could put them in the hunt for a first-round bye. In Tallahassee, it's the red hot Florida A&M Rattlers 42, the Alcorn State Braves 34 at halftime. Florida A&M looking to win their 6th straight game. It's just about to start the second half in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. The Arkansas Pine Bluff Golden Lions 24, the Alabama A&M Bulldogs 29. That's really the only close game going on right now in the SWAC. It's just underway, 3:10 to go first half in Grambling, Louisiana. Grambling State 23, Prairie View A&M 19. Not a lot of scoring going on in that one. Both of those teams shooting under 40% from the field. And a game that is yet to start. It's 2 of the top teams in the conference. Number 1 Southern against number 2 Texas Southern. That game in Baton Rouge has not started yet at the moment. That's your Around the SWAC. Here, it's Jackson State 41, Bethune-Cookman 35. My name is Michael Torello. Happy to have your company. Sabrina Petit-Holm is with me at the broadcast desk. Sabrina, we saw the Wildcats start to come back late in that first half. What did they change to turn the tide?
That momentum. They were able to play their game. They stopped playing JSU's game. They were able to shoot those mid-ranges that we were talking about, drawing those fouls, and just keeping the pace of where they need to be. And that's what I'm expecting and more this second half. Wildcats
in the all-black. It's a blackout here at Bethune-Cookman today in the crowd. Another sellout for the men's team. Willoughby stays in bounds. Oh, the clock has frozen at 19:55, so we don't actually know how much time is left. As Ruzon tries to work through a double team, throws it out to Thomas.
These long passes.
Yeah, the clock has frozen at 19:55 and 26 seconds. So we have no idea
what's going on.
And I think that might be a shot clock violation against the Wildcats if they go and like actually check.
Well, this is another.
Because and that's really hard on the Wildcats if they had held the ball for more than 30 seconds because it wasn't on the board.
It's not our fault, you know. We didn't know anything was going to happen. But we're going to use this timeout as an advantage to making sure that we run those plays that Coach Theus was talking about, you know, or Coach Williams as well.
Coach Mo Williams in his 3rd season for his hometown school, the Jackson State Tigers, a Jackson boy, born and raised, Mr. Basketball at Murrah High School in Jackson. 2 college seasons at Alabama before spending 14 years in the NBA, 1 appearance in the All-Star game, 1 NBA title with the Cavaliers in 2016. That was the 3-1 comeback when they came back against the Warriors in that series.
I remember that.
Then 2 years as a head coach at Alabama State before coming over to Jackson State. And his son, Kadarius, is one of his assistant coaches. And
how sweet is that?
And his youngest son, Mike, is a high school player right now who's going to play for him next year, is already committed to Jackson State for the 25-26 season. So it's all in the Williams family down there in Jackson, Mississippi. And he has turned this Jackson State men's program around. I mean, the women's program under Tamika Reed the last couple of years has been dominant, but the men's program's kind of mid-table SWAC program, but with a win tonight, they're solidly in 2nd place.
Yeah, I definitely could tell how they're playing. They're not the same team as they were last year, too, so it's really exciting to see where they're going to go up to, depending on who's going to be winning. This second half is going to be crucial to either team. It is a close-knit team. Anybody can come back from anything, you know, just like how you said it's SWAC.
So they're going to put 4 seconds on the shot clock and 19:34 on the game clock. Wildcats got to run something quick inbounds here. Kamara will be the trigger man. Ruzon with 4, working on Grant.
Very smart decision.
Into the paint, he got bumped, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Very smart decision, like we said before. Something that we need to draw.
And it's important to get some of the bigs from Jackson State in some foul trouble. I mean, no fouls on Grant the first half, just 1 on McMillan and 2 on Mansell.
30.
Bethune-Cookman, who ended that first half shooting 7 of their last 8 from the floor, and they went down to Ruzon, right? I mean, he has a game-high 12 right now.
Yeah,
Ruzon. Or team-high 12, excuse me. And it was tough for him to find purchase early on among the trees down there, but he's worked out how to get it done.
He's finding his little balance and using that to the best of his abilities.
First time the Wildcats will be on defense in the second half. At the start of the first half, it was all Jackson State. I mentioned they shot 80% from the floor in the first 10 minutes and raced out to a 14-point lead, mostly through the contributions of this man, Shannon Grant, who buries his way in. Mansell offensive rebound. Put back no good. The tip-in is good from Grant, though.
We got to be able to keep our hands on those balls. Usually we're able to grab a rebound and keep the rebound and take it down court. But I don't know. I think JSU has knocked us off our game to the point where we have to figure out what's going to work for us, what's best.
Both of these teams averaging 35 rebounds a game, separated by just a half a percentage point in the SWAC standings and rebounds, but it's been all Jackson State on the glass today. Ruzon, yeah!
Mid-range team. Ruffin has been all over Seneca this game, and he's not letting up off of him at all.
And Seneca is an important on-ball defender for the Wildcats. Yes. Probably the best one they have left after Gianni Hunt is out with an injury.
Oh, I really did enjoy seeing Gianni.
Look out, Shannon Grant down low against Martine. He scores.
Yep.
And just like that, Shannon Grant's got 4 more points.
I think Grant, no matter who goes after him, it's always going to be a mixed match. And that's not something that we look forward to.
Trey Thomas, who sat for a good part of that first half with 2 fouls, he pulls up from mid-range, misses it short. Nobody there for the rebound for the Wildcats.
Nobody there for that rebound, Mike. And honestly, that's where we are messing up ourselves.
Yeah.
JSU will be able to take advantage of that every time.
Ruffin, who was held scoreless in the first half, gets fouled. And he'll have a chance to go to the line and get his scoring night started. Deshaun Ruffin, the junior out of Jackson, Mississippi, started his career at Ole Miss, averaged 11 points in 2 seasons for the Rebels, but missed last season with a torn ACL and half of his freshman year at Ole Miss with a knee injury. And he stepped away to concentrate on his mental health, and he ended up at Jackson State. He's a former high school McDonald's All-American, the first one ever to play at Jackson State. And he's on the board.
Those type of injuries definitely do take a toll on your mental health.
Willoughby against Ruffin. And I've admired Ruffin's on-ball defense tonight, really, maybe more than anything else. Ruzon straight on 3. No good.
No rebounds.
And he's taken 2 threes tonight, missed them both, Ruzon. But this is how Jackson State got that big lead in the first half. Inefficient shots for the Wildcats, and then going down low into the paint and getting efficient shots for Jackson State. They have 26 points in the paint right now. And the lead is back to 8. It's been as low as 2 in the last minute of the first half. Kevion Hunt. And a foul is going to be called on Khalil Kamara. That will go in the book as his 2nd foul. He's asking for a review. That's unfortunately not how the college game works. You can't review fouls like that. You can in the pros. Although I wouldn't be surprised if that's coming.
My goodness.
Grant again, lost it.
Clean.
And Wildcat ball.
I think we're going to have to start double teaming Grant for us to be able to get more calls like that.
And the Tigers, have rendered Jesus Caballero-Martin almost invisible on the offensive end today. And they are all in the face of Seneca Willoughby. Back to Ruzon.
Nice mid-rangers.
And he got the roll.
Love it.
It's a Ruzon masterclass right now. He's up to a game-high 17 on 6 of 9 shooting.
This might be the game.
But the Wildcats need stops. Energy level in this building a little low right now. That's a Wildcat turnover.
Baseball team going crazy. I love it.
Deshaun Ruffin took a little shoulder bump from Khalil Kamara after that play. But oh my God, look at the baseball team giving it to him behind the play.
Love that.
Trying to get the rest of the crowd into it here. Willoughby attacks Ruffin. He's reached in on by Ruffin. Ruffin goes down in a heap. And things might get ugly here. Daniel Ruzon protests his innocence.
We definitely need a review on that because I saw him fall, but hey, I'm not going to be the man to hear that.
Well, if you remember the Alabama A&M game a couple weeks ago, that one got a little feisty too. And it was about this time of the second half, about 5 minutes into the second half.
We need to be able to see if we can review that call and see.
That altercation saw 3 players ejected from each side, leaving the Wildcats with just 6 bodies at the time. Of course, the Wildcats went on to win that game.
Yep. They had something to prove.
But we might have a long look at the monitors here because there's 2 things to look at. There's the play where Willoughby and Ruffin got tangled up after Ruffin committed the foul.
Yep.
And then Ruffin walked through the Bethune-Cookman huddle and fell down. Don't know if anything happened there.
I don't think anything happened on that part, but hey, who am I?
It's a battle early on, Sabrina. Both teams 6 apiece, but if you're the Wildcats, you have unlocked Daniel Ruzon right now.
Yes.
But he can't do it alone. What are you trying to do to get the guards involved? Because 17 points for Ruzon, forward. 8 points for Kamara, forward. Willoughby has 7, but all of those were early on in the first half, and he hasn't taken a shot in the last maybe 15 minutes of game time.
We got to be able to use our bigs, being able to pull them to the top of the key so we can leave that post open. Because they're running the same thing that I'm trying to tell them to do now over on JSU side. They're pulling the Wildcats to the top of the key, leaving Grant and, what's his name? Sorry, I have to find his name. Mansell open every time below to be able to get those 2-pointers. But if you're able to see those.
So they're reviewing, they're currently looking at the tie-up between Willoughby and Ruffin. And then Ruffin is contacted by Kamara and goes down. Kamara got immediately teed up.
Yeah.
And that is what is under review.
Yeah. And he already has 2 fouls against him. They've been going since this game started.
That will be his 3rd on Khalil Kamara. And again, only a 7-man rotation for the Wildcats. Can't afford to have anybody in foul trouble
Not
here.
at all. I think they came down to a decision.
Well, the way it works is 2 referees look at it while one watches the benches.
Yes.
Then they rotate so everybody can see it. Then they conference and come to a decision.
Okay.
So we could be here a while, and especially with something like this that's not a basketball play. It happened during a stoppage.
I'm just hoping to see what they're going to call. This is very interesting. On whose is it? This will be a great time for, BCU to be able to run some plays here over here.
So we've got a foul on Deshaun Ruffin.
Ah!
A technical foul on Khalil Kamara.
No, that's not what I was hoping to hear. That's not what I was hoping to hear.
Offsetting technical foul on Seneca Willoughby and Deshaun Ruffin, and an additional technical foul on Khalil Kamara. So that means Kamara is gone.
Oh my goodness.
Because that is probably a double technical and an ejection. I'm trying to listen to hear the PA. Coach Theus is getting an explanation from the referee right now, and he doesn't look happy.
No, not at all.
I'm trying to get confirmation if Kamara will be tossed, or will he just have 4 personal fouls. No, Kamara has not been tossed.
Thank you.
He just picked up 2 more fouls.
So he is at 4 now.
So Ruffin's got 3. Kamara currently showing as 2, but I think that will change.
Double up.
Yeah, now he's got 3.
Okay.
And Willoughby also picked up an additional technical, so now he's got 3.
I'm hoping the more maniacs are able to decrease that morale that Ruffin has.
So Ruffin, whoa.
Bob does not lie, folks.
Way off on the first one. And this gym is tough on free throw shooters, especially at that end with the stage. It kind of throws off your sight lines.
Yeah. What are you looking at?
So Ruffin shot 2 free throws. Now the Wildcats will get free throws, I believe.
Oh, I think it's just the inbound.
No, it's just the ball for Jackson State, so the Wildcats get nothing.
Wow.
Just the foul on Ruffin. Wow. Well, another review goes in favor of Jackson State, and the lead is 7 plus these. Mansell, oh, look out. Romel Mansell cleared for takeoff. And the lead is back to 9.
Sorrows.
Wildcats battling the Stripes and the Tigers right now. Whistle and a foul gonna go on Grant.
Keep feeding it. Gotta keep feeding it to Ruzon. Ruzon is not phased.
We'll go to immediate timeout here. Wildcats back down 9, trying to stay in this one. 15:52 to go in the half, and Coach Theus is upset over there, getting some additional explanation from the officials.
He's like, let me make this clear. What exactly happened?
Make sure you are representing Bethune-Cookman University Athletics to the fullest. Buy the latest BCU gear online to the Bethune-Cookman online store. Go to BCUathletics.com and click on Shop to find the newest BCU clothing and apparel. That's BCUathletics.com and click on Shop. Stay up to date with everything Bethune-Cookman Athletics by checking out the Wildcats on social media. Give BCU Athletics a like on Facebook and follow the Wildcats on X and Instagram at BCU_Athletics. For the latest on BCU basketball, follow at BCU Hoops on X and Instagram. Our social media team led by Eugene Robinson and Autumn Sander does a great job. A bunch of the CatEye students have their work featured there, and also on our CatEye Network social medias on X, Instagram, and do we have a TikTok? I'm not sure.
That's soon to come. We've been
I'm not on that, so I don't know. Call me the old man, but that's not my thing.
We have been working on
so
it.
if you want to see our students' work, the CatEye Network social media accounts is where you want to be. And it felt like all the momentum drained out of the building after that technical foul.
Yes. And we're trying to find it back. That band is trying to give us that, liveliness back, that sense of morale we've been looking for. Trying to keep it up. Still 15 minutes left in the game, so anything goes.
After this, the Wildcats will go on the road. Their final road game for the season up in Alabama against Alabama A&M next Saturday, the 22nd, and Alabama State Monday, the 24th. And then they're home for their final 3 games, and they're not easy ones. League-leading Southern on March 1st. Reigning champion Grambling on March 3rd.
Yes, that was a shocker of a game for me. I thought they were going to come in with some heat that game. And
the red-hot Rattlers of Florida A&M for Senior Day on March 8th. And then 3 days later, SWAC tournament time.
I'm really excited for that one because, it's a clean slate.
Yeah, and really, if you look at positions 1 to 9 on the table, anybody could finish anywhere if they get hot down the stretch. The Wildcats are, I believe, locked in mathematically to the tournament. They can't miss it, but they could still fall down to that play-in round of teams 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Trey Thomas driving, putting it up, and the foul! Trey Thomas, who was nowhere in the first half, has arrived to the second.
It's exactly what we've been looking for all that game, trying to get that back.
Trey Thomas just 2 for 6 in the first half.
Ooh, that was pretty low. Now we got to make those. This is what counts.
And Thomas is up to second place in the SWAC in points per game, 16.1. Wow. Only behind, if I'm looking at the wrong stat, Tanaj Petway of Prairie View A&M, 17.7 points per game. Of course, the Wildcats defeated Prairie View A&M in Houston last weekend. Baseline jumper is good for Kevion Hunt.
I have to give credit when it's due.
Only Hunt's second and third points of the game. 4 fouls on Ruffin, and a whistle and a foul called against Kevion Hunt.
Coach Mo Williams is not happy about that call.
Wearing the very fashionable blue blazer with a white shirt today.
Yeah, he looks sharp.
Not a lot of coaches in college basketball still wear the finery.
Yep. You gotta appreciate it when one comes.
Thomas rejects the screen, goes all the way in.
No! He's knocking on that door, and that door is open, Mike.
Now the Wildcats, I think I've said this almost every time down the floor, need a stop here.
Yes. That just made me miss Henson. Henson, if you're listening to this, we miss you.
Henson White, my broadcast partner from last year. The floater, no. Grant, the putback foul. And that'll be on Ruzon, his second. Another offensive rebound, though. It's 8-1 in offensive rebounds for Jackson State.
They're obviously beating us down in the post, but, what can we say?
It's kind of hard to box out someone who's 6'10" and 300 pounds.
Wow.
Shannon Grant, for a big man, is a pretty good free throw shooter, 62%. But he's off on the first.
The crowd likes what they see.
Grant, originally from Silcauga, Alabama. Only the second Silcauga player since 2011 to play Division I basketball out of that high school. So making his hometown proud.
No, they're rooting for him every chance.
Willoughby trying to escape Dorian McMillan's advances. Ruzon, no, off the heel.
Nice, David. Keep your hands on the ball.
Onanina wanted a foul, none given. In the corner, Hunt for three. Short. Hunt gets his own miss.
David, I'm looking for David for a rebound. Oh,
Grant attacks.
I was looking to travel, but we ain't gonna say nothing about that.
Attacking and missing off the window is Hunt.
Seneca slowing down the game as he should. Mid-ranger, woo, what a pass.
Kamara steps back into a three.
Woo, and no
Grant,
rebound.
well, Grant boxes out Onanina. You're not really seeing David Onanina getting boxed out so much this season, but the Wildcats have had no answer for Shannon Grant under the basket.
I would really, really love for him to really push back a little bit.
Slipping and falling and missing is McMillan. Coach asking Trey Thomas to slow things down here. Wildcats down 53-46. Thomas almost lost the ball. Thomas off 1 foot. Oh, yeah!
It's him. It's him. Let's go, Trey. That's what we like to see. That's what we're looking for with the Wildcats.
7 straight points from Thomas.
Yep.
Wildcats back within 4. I'm gonna let the crowd speak to you on this one.
Let him talk, Mike.
Kick ball is gonna go against the Wildcats. And if I'm Jackson State and Coach Mo Williams, there is no reason I shouldn't be throwing the ball to number 7
at all
every time down the floor.
But then again, you have one of our best, David and Daniel, down there watching.
Wildcats have really been forced to go to the 2 big lineup because of Grant's presence, as well as Mansell, who's got the ball right now.
Keep it wide open for him.
Hunt back to Mansell. Missed the dunk.
Misses it.
Thomas pulls up. Oh, he missed it. Onanina tried to save it, but he stepped on the baseline. That's the that's the kind of shot that lost the Wildcats the game on Saturday.
And we do not need this with 12 minutes and 30 seconds left in the game. 48-53. This is a close game.
And you could see Coach Thea saying, slow down, slow down, slow down, and Thomas just pulls from 25 feet.
And just let's get out of that. Oh, that's a clear
Hunt
drive.
blows by Thomas. Plus one.
They literally set up the shot for them to drive and call that and draw that foul. The same thing we should be doing on our end, they're doing down there at JSU, and we're not seeing that.
And Trey Thomas has to know, he has 7 straight points. They've all come from drives.
All come from drives. Maybe we got to be able to revisit what exactly is working for us, because it's absolutely not. JSU already back on defense.
And Coach Theus has told me in interviews I've done with him that sometimes the team just goes off the rails and just does what they want. And it's tough as a coach when you want to run the offense and the team just says, no, we're just going to take this 30-foot three. Willoughby against McMillan. He's been hounding Seneca all night.
Yes.
Thomas catch and shoot.
One.
Misses it again.
This is not what we need. That's 2 threes. That's already been down. Let's drive, you guys.
And the lead is back up to 8 as the Wildcats have missed 4 of their last 5 shots.
Not what we're looking for. We're going to lose that momentum if we do not lock in.
Wildcats just 1 of 7 from 3 in the last couple of minutes. The hezzy, the drive, the spin, and the score from Jamie Mitchell. And this looks like a lot of what the first half looked like, where the Wildcats were struggling on offense and then couldn't stop anything on defense. The hoop's the size of a beach ball right now for Jackson State.
I would really love to see Daniel Ruzon, please, not another one.
Back to Willoughby. He takes the corner 3, knocks it down.
That works. That one works. If it's not going to work for him, it will work for Seneca. Or in better words, send money.
breaks a 5-0 Jackson State run.
We're back to 7 points.
Kevion Hunt on the baseline draws the foul.
You gotta be careful.
And if that's on Seneca, that's his fourth.
Fourth with 11 minutes. That's not what we need right now. And I know I've said this a lot, but if he's on his fourth, this could be a detrimental change of how this game is going to go.
Come be a part of BCU Athletics and support the CatEye Network. If you or your business is interested in partnering with us here on the CatEye Network, you can reach out to Wildcats Athletic Communications Office at bcusportsinfo@cookman.edu. That's bcusportsinfo@cookman.edu. Basketball season's coming to an end. A lot of eyes on it coming down the stretch. Also, 30-plus games planned for CatEye Network baseball this year, as well as softball over at Sunnyland Park. Lots of sponsorship opportunities here on the CatEye Network. And it's the Wildcats once again close to within 4, and then Jackson State keeps their grip firmly on this game, keeps the Wildcats at arm's length. And that's what a lot of what happened Saturday. The Wildcats could just never get a good enough run to come back in the game. They ended up losing by 4. That's because Alcorn State took their foot way off the gas in the last 5 minutes.
It just feels like every time we try to push, we get fouled, or there's a foul that's coming, and that's not what we're looking for. I'm hoping that we're able to make some adjustments to work, because we see it's working. We just have to make sure the right puzzle pieces are in the right places. All the pieces are there.
I'm guessing that Carolero Martin will come back on to replace Willoughby, who's got the 4 fouls now. Daniel Ruffin has 4 fouls for Jackson State. Quick check up on the scoring numbers for Jackson State. Shannon Grant, 17. Let me double check and see if that's a season high for him. No, his season high is 18. Well, I'd back him to get that tonight.
Yes.
McMillan with 13, Mitchell with 11, Mansell with 8, Hunt with 6, Ruffin with 3. For the Wildcats, Ruzon with 17. Ruzon's season high is 24. He could get up there if they keep feeding him. Thomas has 12. He's on a streak of 6 straight 20-point games that's in jeopardy right now, Trey Thomas. Seneca Willoughby with 10, but 4 fouls. Kamara with 8, Onanina with 4. Martin scoreless, just 1 shot for Jesus Carolero Martin tonight. And Martin's going to stay on the bench for now. It was not a shooting foul, so it'll be a 1-and-1 for Kevion Hunt here.
JSU already on the defensive side.
Very confident in their free throw shooters.
Yeah.
Jackson State, before this shot, is 10 of 14 from the line tonight. The Wildcats 7 of 8, but they haven't been getting to the paint enough to get those fouls.
Not at all.
Got the first one. Did the junior from Jackson, Mississippi. A lot of hometown talent on this team. Avon Johnson, the junior, also from Jackson. Deshaun Ruffin from Jackson. Coandrick Samuel from Jackson. Tamarion Hoover from nearby Yazoo City. Two of 2 for Hunt.
Down by 9.
The gap has kind of fluctuated between 5 and 9 the whole second half. The Wildcats had it down to 4 at one point.
Trey in the game for Seneca.
The Wildcats have never led in this game. The closest they've been is down 2.
He needs to take it, take it.
Onanina does take it, throws it off the window, no good. Bouncing rebound comes to Jackson State.
Nobody
25-16 on rebounds for the Tigers tonight. And 0 second chance points for the Wildcats. 0.
Oh,
back door!
Oh.
And a foul.
That was such a late call. That was such a late call.
And Coach Theus agrees with you. The foul's going to go against Onanina, his second.
Such a late call.
As this one feels like it's slipping away from the Cats with 10 minutes left. Of all the time, Sabrina, to have an 0-2 week.
Not this one.
This one, Jesus Gerardo Martin, I'm just hearing, he's done for the day.
Yeah.
Which means the Wildcats are down to 6 players.
Done for the day.
And if Seneca Willoughby falls out, they'll be 5. Not sure if that's an injury concern or something else. Thanks to our SID Bryce for keeping us up to date with everything going on down there. No good on the second, so 1 of 2. Hasn't been the best night shooting for Jackson State from the free throw line, just 13 of 17. Trayvon Barbary, the walk-on in the game for the Wildcats. That's how low and undermanned the Wildcats are right now.
Yes, but he has been proving himself.
Thomas, the spin, the pull-up, the bucket.
The bucket.
And really, with Willoughby off the floor, you're losing your best on-ball defender.
Absolutely. Let's hope to see Trey is able to step up and be that.
Down the lane, Hunt kicks to the corner. This is Tamarian Hoover, the freshman. Back to Hunt. All the way in, up and under, no good. Thomas got the ball batted away from him. It'll stay with the Wildcats. Last touch by Mitchell. As here comes Grant back in. Shannon Grant's played 28 minutes tonight.
They know exactly what's going on.
He's been off the floor for 2 minutes the whole game. And again, Coach Williams and his staff, they know the score. They know when Grant's in the game, the Wildcats have no answer for him on either end.
And they want to take that lead and stretch it all the way to the end.
Willoughby's back on. No Thomas on the floor right now for the Cats. Seneca Willoughby playing with 4 fouls. The Wildcats with just 6 active bodies at the moment. Ruzon floats it down low. Onanina got it blocked by Hunt. All right.
Blocked by Grant.
By Grant, excuse me. That's the second block of the game for Jackson State.
They're running that timeout as well.
Grant down low against Onanina. Back up top to Mitchell. Mitchell crosses up Willoughby and is fouled, and that might be it for Seneca Willoughby. It is. That's his 5th foul.
Oh my goodness.
The Wildcats are down to 5.
All smiles for JSU saying thank you.
Willoughby departs, 10 points, 4 of 6 shooting, 2 out of 3 from 3. 2 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, and 4 fouls. And we're gonna have someone we haven't seen a lot of, Jarrell Love, come in to give the Wildcats some help. Love, the junior from Fort Worth, Texas. This is not a situation
where we should be testing out the
as a coach you ever want to find yourself in. The front end of the 1-and-1 is missed.
I think JSU was a little bit relieved since how hard they have been coming.
And going back to the line is Mitchell. No idea what's going on there.
Don't know what's going on in Bruce as well, too.
The only thing I think it could be is a lane violation, but I didn't see the referee make the lane violation signal.
Yeah, it's 1.
So we'll have 1 shot for Mitchell. He got it. 9-point lead again. The 5 on the floor right now.
That's an unorthodox 5.
Is Barbary, Ruzon, Love, Onanina, Kamara, who takes the 3 and misses.
My goodness, you cannot keep shooting these threes. They're taking advantage
all the
of
way,
it every
blocked by
time.
Ruzon. Offensive rebound, though, for Mitchell. Nobody covering the corner. Kick ball, puts 20 on the shot clock. But again, though, on the floor right now for the Wildcats, Ruzon, Thomas. We're going to see Simeon Womack, the junior walk-on who's played single-digit minutes his entire college career.
Yeah.
That's how deep the Wildcats are going right now.
All the way deep in their bench.
Out wide, here's McMillan, takes a three, in and out. Grant there for the rebound, the putback, and the foul.
Oh my goodness. David Onanina, I am not sure what's going on, but I am hoping he finds whatever it is to need to get that fire back in him. 8 minutes left. And remember, I usually say 8 minutes is whenever, you know, that height usually gets back. But so far, I'm not even seeing it. It's gone.
Well, all your best players are hurt. No Jesus Caldero-Martin, no Brayon Freeman, no Reggie Ward, no Antoine Jones, no Gianni Hunt, no Jerome Bea. The Wildcats, the walking wounded at this point of the season, and no return date for any of those players has been set. I mean, you got to think about Reggie Ward led the SWAC in rebounds for over a month. After he went out, he was that far ahead in rebounds. Yeah. Brayon Freeman only just now dropped off the SWAC leaderboard in scoring because he hasn't played the requisite number of games.
Yeah.
You had two guys who were on for all SWAC seasons.
They're pressing now.
Done for the year. To go along with Antoine Jones, who tore his ACL in the first game of the season against Texas Tech.
Oh my goodness.
Khalil Kamara is running point guard right now. Back to Trey Thomas, 9 on the shot clock. He goes all the way. Bucket and the foul.
It's time to draw those fouls. It's time to draw those fouls.
We go to the under 8 media timeout. Cats down 5, looking for answers, looking for anybody.
Something
to get them back in this game here on the CatEye Network. There is no BC without you. Show your support for Bethune-Cookman Athletics by joining the Wildcat Champions Club today. Help us build a championship culture at Bethune-Cookman. You can donate and join at bcuathletics.com/championsclub. That's bcuathletics.com/championsclub. Let's take a look around the SWAC. It's a final in Itta-Bena, Mississippi. Alabama State 7-9, Mississippi Valley State 56. It's 5 minutes to go in Tallahassee, and it's a stranglehold for the Rattlers. Florida A&M 76, Alcorn State 60 in that one. FAMU looking to win their 7th straight basketball game.
Wow.
Alabama A&M 53, Arkansas Pine Bluff 32, 8:22 to go in the second half there. It has been 24-8 in the second half, favoring Alabama A&M. It is 12 minutes to go in the second half. A close game in Grambling, Louisiana. Grambling State 35, Prairie View A&M 33.
Very close game.
And they still have not started or have not reported stats yet for Texas Southern against Southern. That's the game I've got my eye on tonight.
Yeah,
first place, second. Southern 10-1. Texas Southern in that 5-way tie for second.
That's going to be a really good one.
In Louisiana. And here it's a 10-point lead for Jackson State. The Wildcats pretty much out of options here. I mean, I think Trey Thomas is going to have to drive to the basket every time.
It's working. Kind of see. And David Onanina, I would really love to see him grab some boards and hold on to them. You know, those are our second chance points that we're looking for, and they just keep slipping right out of our hands.
Second chance points? What second chance points? The Wildcats don't have any. It's 13-zip in that department tonight in favor of the Tigers. But there are still 7:48 to go. And anything can happen.
Anything.
Thomas converts the and one. And the Cats are down 9.
So in a 2-2 defense, the 2-3 defense, apologies. Watch those baselines.
They throw it. Whoa. I'm not sure what that was.
Whatever it worked. It worked.
He was looking for Shannon Grant. I mean, as big as Shannon Grant is, I don't think he's 10 feet tall. Here's Thomas. Goes left all the way. Missed the shot, puts his arms in the air like, where's my foul?
Stop.
It's not forthcoming. Khalil Kamara picks up the steal. Here's Trey Thomas. Back to Ruzon.
Draws the foul. Exactly what we're looking for. Hopefully it's not a hard one where he's not hurt. But at this point of the game, 7 minutes and 10 seconds left, Mike, all we need to do is just continue to drive.
Well, Ruzon has stayed down after the foul from Shannon Grant. That's Grant's 4th foul.
Let's keep bucking him.
Ruzon's going to be helped back to his feet by Onanina. And he'll go to the line to shoot 2. That was unselfish from Trey Thomas on that last drive. Realized he had the double team and found the open man.
And that's that drop that we're looking for. That drop.
Daniel Ruzon, 17 points tonight, tied for a team high with Trey Thomas. Shannon Grant has a season-high 20 points tonight on 9 of 11 shooting. But he's got 4 fouls right now. Ruzon hits the first free throw. McMillan's got 13, Mitchell's got 13, Mansell has 10 for Jackson State.
Ruzon's at 18 right now, attempting for 19.
Got it. Ruzon's had a good night, even though the rest of the Wildcats really kind of haven't on offense.
Yeah.
And this Jackson State team is on a 3-game run where in their last 3 wins, they've scored over 90 points, including a 103-point outing against Alabama A&M, the highest single score in a SWAC game this season out of anybody.
Out the post.
Mid-ranger is good.
That's what they do. They pull y'all up to the top of the key, exposes the paint, then attack. Just like how we talked about in the beginning of the game. The keys to the game. Attack the paint.
2 players fall down. A drive, a bucket from Jarrell Lowe.
Jarrell Lowe.
He's actually the team leader in field goal percentage at 62%, Jarrell Lowe. He doesn't see the floor very much, but when he does, he scores.
Yeah. Watch the cut. They are pinching. They're pinching. They need to pinch. Exposing that paint.
Mansell up top, working on Onanina. Spins over the top, no good. Rebound, out of bounds, Wildcat ball.
That's what we're looking for.
Look out.
McMillan looks really confused on what happened.
I was going to say, look out, cheerleader who almost got knocked in the head by that ball.
Had to duck really fast.
It's a dangerous place to be over there.
That stage. But with such historic meaning, though. Nice pick by David Onanina.
Thomas lost it. The Wildcats will keep it, though.
This needs to be the perfect inbound play.
Well, and that is an example of Trey Thomas doing a little too much as Coach Theus calls timeouts.
We're probably going to talk about that really soon.
Yep. Lots of foul trouble in this one right now.
Yes.
Seneca Willoughby has already fouled out. Shannon Grant's got 4. Deshaun Ruffin, who had 37 points the first time these two teams met last month, has 3 points and 4 fouls.
Oh, my goodness. This was such a foul game, such a dramatic game. I called it in the beginning because of these 2 teams and their playing styles. It was definitely going to be a handsy one.
And David Onanina's got 4 fouls as well.
We need to watch. He is one of our biggest men, one of the only biggest men that we have down here.
Yeah.
So it's basically a good matchup between him and Grant, who is on JSU with 4 fouls as well.
But it's all Grant so far tonight. I mean, the 20 points.
See the record for his.
He's also got a steal and a block, Shannon Grant. But the Wildcats have just had no answer. And there's stuff that shows up that doesn't show up in the stat sheet that he's done. Altering shots, forcing double teams, getting his teammates open.
Yeah.
On the defensive side, clogging the paint so the Wildcats can't get easy layups. I mean, he just does so much.
Yes, he's like their Swiss Army knife, just like we have our Swiss Army knife, which is Jesus, who was unfortunately out of the game at that moment. But Grant is definitely JSU's Swiss Army knife.
7-point lead for Jackson State, 5:48 to go. Jackson State has led the entire way. They've led by as many as 14 in the middle of the first half. The Wildcats cut it to 2 with under a minute to go in the first half. But Jackson State took a 35-41 lead into the half and have just kind of held the Wildcats at arm's length in this second half. They've outscored the Wildcats by 1 in the second half, 26-25. All right, Onanina gets it in. Onanina. Thomas behind the back all the way.
He's taking it to the house, Mike. I don't know what they're thinking.
But he's got to keep doing it.
Yep, keep driving. And I think they figured that's what's working, and they're going to keep using that.
This capacity crowd at Moore Gym wants to see a Wildcat comeback. And it would be the most improbable of them.
Yes, Grant Ruzon going head
Hunt just pulls up, misses it, and Jarrell Love pulls down the board.
Riding it down the court. Is Trey gonna take it to the paint again?
He's switched on to by Mansell. That's a deflection and a steal, and here comes Kevion Hunt the other way. That's an easy one. Well, they knew what Trey Thomas was gonna do, and just got in the way. Timeout Jackson State with 5 minutes to go. And the lead is back to 7. And then the Wildcats have just never been able to cut it to more than 4.
Yes, it's either that or 9, and go straight back up.
The Wildcats are shooting 50% here in the second half and 54% for the game. I mean, it's been really good offensively for the Wildcats, but the 12 turnovers, they have not gotten on the glass at all. 30-20 rebounds in favor of Jackson State. And they've just been bully-balled on the offensive side. And Jackson State has shot 52 shots in this game. The Wildcats just 44. And that's offensive rebounds and that's turnovers.
Total.
Support the Wildcats like never before. Bethune-Cookman Athletics has partnered with Influxer to bring you officially licensed, co-branded NIL merchandise featuring your favorite players' names and numbers. Proceeds from each purchase directly support Wildcat student athletes. Show your support for your favorite Wildcats today at bcuathletics.com/NIL merch. That's bcuathletics.com/NIL merch. Well, he's 1 point away from his 7th straight 20-point game. If you want to get a Trey Thomas jersey, you can.
He's definitely going to.
Wildcats desperately looking for a way really to get stops. Because I mentioned the offensive side hasn't been bad. I mean, they're shooting 54% from the floor. They've only missed 1 free throw.
They are in a 2-2-1 press, full court press.
It's probably going to be token. Now they'll back off.
Yep.
And crucially, Deshaun Ruffin is back in the game with 4 fouls. Elevator screen to get the ball with Trey Thomas. Thomas attacks Ruffin. Goes by him. Onanina up and under.
That's what I'm looking for. With 4 fouls, I know Ruffin wants to play the game, so he's trying to take as many precautions and being hands off as possible.
And Thomas, recognizing the double team, just dumped it down to his open big man.
That's using those fundamental basketball smarts.
That's an offensive foul.
Sacrificing yourself for the greater good of that game. Trey
Thomas is talking to Onanina.
You be there. Exactly what we've been yelling up here, Mike.
I'm not sure who they called that foul on. I'm waiting for it to come on my screen. It is Mansell. That's his 3rd foul.
They took Grant out and they switched him out, Ruffin for another one.
Thomas out of horns here. Ruzon, bounce pass Onanina within the trees against Mansell. The hook shot, no. The rebound, Love. The putback! Valentine's Day may have been last week, but the Wildcats feel a lot of love right now.
Oh, man. It gets me to think of wondering, why isn't he on the court a little bit more? He proves himself every time.
Hunt all the way, kick out, corner 3, good.
Oh, it's good.
That's a big-time three from Jamie Mitchell.
Absolutely.
His second of the game. He's up to 16 points.
Still in the game.
Lead back to 6. The Wildcats had cut it to 3. Love on the pull-up. No good, no rebound. Wildcats desperate for a stop once again. Oh, that three may have been the dagger.
Yep. We got to find our morale back.
Need a nice on-ball defense. Barely saved it to Mansell. 10 to shoot, rough into the corner.
Almost a shot clock violation.
Across to
Foul.
Mitchell, he's fouled. Wildcats proclaiming their innocence, saying that he was straight up. We're gonna have the final media timeout.
Of the night, 3 minutes left, 66 to 72. But anything can happen, Mike.
Jackson State going to the line for 2 more tonight. They are 71% from the charity stripe.
Absolutely. I think that band is going to try and find that morale back.
Trey Thomas protesting his innocence to the referees. Well, take nothing away from the crowd out here tonight.
Yeah. I'm really happy that they all showed out. It's beautiful to see all of us come together to support our greater good as a team. You know, it boosts up the morale, the band, you know.
The first 500 fans through the door tonight got the blackout t-shirts.
I was one of them.
We got them up here in the booth. So Sabrina, how do the Wildcats get stopped? Because basically, they can't leave. Basically, they got to stop the Tigers from the rest of the game here.
They're going to have to drive in because I'm pretty much all of them are in foul trouble. Ruffin, you see that he backed off because he's out 4 points. And Grant, they took him out. It's like they did a switcheroo. The 2 top players of JSU, Grant, you know, regardless of Mansell, he's been in the game, but he's not in foul trouble. But Grant, along with Ruffin, those 2 are the biggest playmakers of the game. And they both have 4 points. We take them out, we'll be able to find that hole we're looking for to take it to the lead.
And on the defensive side, I mean, yes, the Wildcats need points, but I don't think they can let Jackson State score pretty much for the rest of the game. They want.
I think they need to run a man, but it's kind of scary to run a man because we're also in foul trouble too, and I don't want them to get no foul. If anything, it should be a 3-2 or a 2-2-1 down below.
But it is going to be 2 free throws for Jackson State. Going to the line will be Mitchell. Mitchell's been at the line a ton tonight. Yeah. 6 of his 16 points are from the charity stripe. He's 6 of 9.
He must be really good at it.
On the season, Mitchell, 75% free throw shooter. Both teams in the double bonus for the last 3:01. Good on the first from Mitchell, the sophomore out of Jackson, Mississippi. Forest Hill High School product. Was a Mississippi All-Star and a junior and senior, and followed Mo Williams from Alabama State to Jackson State.
JSU trying to stretch that lead as much as they can.
Back to 8. The Wildcats had cut it to 3. And a 5-0 run for the Tigers.
Down into a 2-3.
Ruzon.
Ruffin over here trying to flop.
Up top, Love lost it, and saving it on the baseline is McMillan. Another turnover for Bethune-Cookman, and it's cashed in on the other side by Mitchell. 7-0 run for the Tigers. 10 points game again. And it was all, Thomas way downtown, no good. Nobody there for the rebound.
I just feel as if you're going to shoot those threes, at least have somebody down there being able to catch them, you know?
And we see some Wildcat supporters headed for the exits. 3, no good. Another offensive rebound from Mansell.
Wildcats putting up a good fight with 2 minutes left in the game.
Whistle and a stoppage of play here. And I think we're gonna have a timeout. It's been that kind of night for the Wildcats. They've had some flashes like they did on Saturday, but when it matters most, they just The offense has left the building. The defense has left the building.
Yes,
they've had no answer.
I think right now what we're looking for is to make sure that, you know, if it was me.
We're going to go to a review. I'm not sure what we're reviewing, but we're going to go to a review.
Absolutely.
We've got baseball coming up next weekend here on the CatEye Network. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, currently the plan against the UMass Minutemen. Of course, on Wednesday, the Wildcat baseball team is scheduled to have a home game against FIU. That is likely not happening, and if it happens at all, we'll be in Miami at FIU because of weather rolling in to the Daytona Beach area.
I was going to go to that game.
There's about an 80% chance of rain on...
the rain has not been our friend during baseball season.
No, we had the game. We got the game Sunday paused or stopped after 7 innings because of rain.
Oh my goodness!
But usually the Wildcats have pretty good luck with rain in baseball. But it's still in the kind of rainy season here in South Florida. 2 minutes to go. Wildcats down by 10. Well, now they're down by 12. 9-0 run for Jackson State.
He has to start driving in like he was. No
Wildcats scoreless the last 2 minutes.
Simeon right there.
Womack has checked into the game. Ruzon takes a 3. He's 0 for 3 from beyond the arc tonight. Ruffin tries to save it. He only saves it to the Wildcat bench. I wouldn't be surprised if Grant doesn't see the floor again tonight. Don't want to get him with his 5th foul. I'm shocked that Ruffin's still in there with the 12-point lead for Jackson State.
That's a lot of self-control.
2 minutes and 20 seconds of scoreless basketball for Bethune-Cookman and has allowed Jackson State to go on a 9-0 run to close the game.
Absolutely. Hey, the heck of a game.
Thomas against Ruffin. Draws a double team. That means Love's open on the baseline. He misses everything. Nobody got back for the Wildcats. Kevion Hunt all the way. That's a goaltending is going to be called. And that'll put more points on the board. 11-0 run for Jackson State as the Wildcat faithful start to file out of more gym. The Wildcats came into today with a chance to be second in the conference. But with this loss, they will fall as 6th place because of all the teams tied at 8-4 right now. I mean, it seems like Sabrina Jackson State 2 minutes ago just decided we're not losing this game.
Yeah, it just switched that quick. That quick. But I don't blame it on the Wildcats. We do have a wounded bench.
Love pulls up from 3, misses off the heel.
We probably could have came back with these points. All those 3-pointers we shot, we could have done some driving in to draw some fouls, 2-pointers to get us to where we need to be at.
And it's not like the Wildcats haven't been close before this run. The Wildcats were down by 3.
So it is possible. It just seems like we're not doing enough to get there.
2 frustrating home losses from Bethune-Cookman this weekend as Ruffin goes in, lost the ball, it'll stay with the Tigers. And this place has been a fortress for the men's basketball team in the SWAC. I don't have it off the top of my head, but I can't remember a time we got swept on a weekend here in the last couple years.
Not like this.
Shout out to the women's team who beat Alcorn on Saturday, keep their playoff hopes alive.
They did a great job.
We'll have a timeout with 49 seconds to go. Gilcat next catch the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats on our airwaves on the 28th of February. Women's basketball at home against Grambling State. Then the doubleheader against Southern on March 1st, the men on March 3rd, and the senior day doubleheader against Florida A&M on March 8th. That's the last of the home schedule here for the Wildcats. Of course, before that, they'll go to Alabama A&M and Alabama State next weekend. For the Jackson State Tigers, they'll end with 3 at home and then 2 on the road. They'll be home against Alcorn, Texas Southern, and Prairie View. That's a tough back-to-back-to-back. really, I think maybe 2, 3, 4 is going to be decided in that stretch for Jackson State. And then they'll end on the road with the two teams at the bottom of the standings, Arkansas Pine Bluff and Mississippi Valley State.
It's definitely going to be a tough road trip for us, too, as well. Dropping all the way to the 6th and, you know, trying to pick back up.
Easy buckets. The Wildcats have given up a 13-0 run over the last 3.5 minutes and are scoreless in that time. Thomas stops and pops, misses off the window. Finally, an offensive rebound and a foul on the putback as Rougeon's going to go to the line.
It's been getting tore up down there.
Trey Thomas is going to break his 5-game streak of 20-point games. It looks like he's only got 19.
Wow, he's been sitting there for a minute, too.
And you'd thought during that long winning streak for the Wildcats, just running 7 guys, you thought it might catch up with it at one point. I mean, it just puts so much strain on your legs, and it has definitely caught up this weekend.
It's definitely catching up with us now.
Lots of tired bodies out there for the Wildcats. I mean, Daniel Rougeon, 36 minutes. Khalil Kamara, 36 minutes. Onanina put back good. Timeout Bethune-Cookman, as we'll be here a little longer. Trey Thomas, 32 minutes. I mean, Jesus Carvalho Martin probably would have played upwards of 30 minutes if he had been available. And again, the Wildcats without Brayon Freeman, Antoine Jones, Gianni Hunt, Mason Dorsey, Reggie Ward, Jerome Bea.
The whole roster practically.
That's half the team gone.
Yeah.
And your most proficient performers in Freeman and Reggie Ward, two guys who I mentioned earlier were having first-team All-SWAC caliber seasons derailed by injury. And I really feel for Reggie Ward. I mean, he was here last year and saw the highs of that team going all the way to the CBI, going all the way to the conference semifinals.
And he wanted a taste of that, but injuries, man.
Again, the Wildcats will be in the SWAC tournament. They're mathematically in because Arkansas Pine Bluff and Mississippi Valley State down at the bottom each only have 1 win on the season. But they could still fall into that play-in game, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 seed.
You do not want to be able to get there.
Where you have to play an extra game. Foul on Simeon Womack off the ball will send Deshaun Ruffin to the line. Ruffin has not hit a field goal tonight, but he's 3 or 4 from the free throw line.
Which is extremely surprising as well, too, because he's one of their top leading scorers in JSU.
Averaging 16 a game coming into tonight, Deshaun Ruffin.
Well, Grant's in the game as well, too.
And a technical foul is going to be called. And a technical foul is going to be called on Trey Thomas.
Trey Thomas.
And that's silly with 20 seconds left in a game that's over. Ruffin misses again.
Not his best night.
On the season, he's 86% from the line.
JSU throwing in their bench players.
Yeah. Cal-Hendrick Samuel's in there. Tamarion Hoover comes in. Delisle Williams is going to make an appearance. And so now they're going to get 2 more free throws as Ruffin waves goodbye. Mo Williams wanted to pull Ruffin off the court, but he's got to shoot 2 more free throws. What's left of the Wildcat crowd continues to give it to Deshaun Ruffin.
We love our more maniacs.
But really, a 14-3 run and counting for Jackson State over the last 4 minutes. That's what did the Wildcats in. They just didn't have it down the stretch tonight.
Not at all. I think what hurts me more about this game is the fact that we did have the potential to win.
Simeon Womack in the game for the Wildcats.
Nice pass.
Onanina off the window. Haven't seen enough of him tonight. He's up to 10. I mean, he's up to 10. not bad. It's just it hasn't been enough from Bethune-Cookman. I mean, 71 points, if your defense is playing as it has for most of the year, it'd probably be enough to win most games. Just Jackson State came in and shot the lights out of the building tonight.
That's how they did it. Remember, we talked about this game earlier, how they came in shooting the club, like literally right up, the whole entire thing, lights out, trying to get that lead and that advantage so that they're not able to sit comfortably where they're at right now at the end of the day.
Here are your final scoring totals for tonight's contest. First for Bethune-Cookman. Daniel Ruzon led the Wildcats with 20. Trey Thomas has his 5-game streak of 20-point games broken. He had 19. Seneca Willoughby had 10. David Onanina had 10. Kamara had 8. Love had 4. Martine, Barbary, and Womack did not score. For Jackson State, Shannon Grant, ridiculous. A season-high 20 points on 9 of 11 shooting and 2 of 3 from the free throw line. Mitchell had 20 on 5 of 8 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3, but 8 for 11 from the free throw line. McMillan 19, so 59 points combined for Grant, Mitchell, and McMillan tonight.
Yeah.
Mansell had 10, Hunt had 10, Ruffin had 5. Only one player that scored for Jackson State did not score in double figures, and that's Deshaun Ruffin, who was the guy we thought would have a ton of points.
We thought we was going to have a lot of points, but they shut them down early, which was good. But at the end of the day, it's our, bench. We were so limited, so much more possibilities. The fact that we could have won says a lot about the team that we do have. Like we said earlier multiple times, the pieces are there. Yes, we fell into the sixth position of the SWAC playoffs. It's going to take a lot of hard work for us to get back to there if we do before the SWAC playoffs. A lot of hope for this team. Let's just, keep positivity, Mike.
Team stats look like this. Jackson State out-rebounded the Wildcats 35-25 and 11-6 on the offensive glass. Second chance points, Jackson State 15, Bethune-Cookman just 5, and they had 0 until the last couple of minutes for the Wildcats. Assists, Jackson State 20, Bethune-Cookman 19. Wildcats turned the ball over 14 times, leading to 12 points off turnovers for Jackson State. Jackson State turned the ball over 12 times, leading to 12 points off turnovers for Bethune-Cookman. Wildcats had 3 blocks, Tigers 2 blocks. Fast break points, 17 for Jackson State, 10 for Bethune-Cookman. Both teams had 6 steals. Points in the paint, 44 for Jackson State, 38 for Bethune-Cookman. Argument to the second chance points, 15-5 in favor of the Tigers. Shooting splits look like this for Bethune-Cookman. 50% from the floor tonight, 28-56, but just 4 of 17 from downtown.
And that's exactly what we talked about with the keys of the game. Which team is going to take advantage of that paint? And JSU took that better half.
For the Jackson State Tigers, they shot 51% from the floor, 30 of 58, 5 of 17 from downtown, 19 of 27 from the free throw line. That's not great. The Wildcats were excellent from the free throw line, 11 of 13, but they only shot 13 free throws.
What a flip-flop.
That'll do it for us here from Moore Gymnasium this weekend. Thank you for staying with us through the entire CatEye Network for a crazy weekend of baseball, basketball, softball. We've done it all this weekend here on the CatEye Network. For Sabrina Petit-Hope, I also want to shout out TJ White, who was with me on Saturday here. Sabrina, thank you so much for being here as always. Producer Lee and our entire student broadcast crew here on the CatEye Network for More Gym. My name is Michael Cirillo. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on Wednesday for baseball, next weekend for baseball, and the weekend after that for basketball. Yes. It's Spring Sports Mania here on the CatEye Network. We'll see you next time.